Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a video on any new bikini athletes that might be following me. As you know, I'm pretty new to this too. My first show is in less than 3 weeks, but starting out, it's really hard to get the information that you want. You'll find that not very many people have a lot of YouTube videos or Instagrams or Facebooks or anything. There's some blogs out there, but even those don't have a ton of information, and that's part of the reason why I started a YouTube channel, so that by chance maybe some of these girls would come across me and hopefully that I could help them out in the way that I would like to be helped out. A lot of people don't share what they eat, their macro breakdowns, their weight, their progress, how many weeks out they start cutting, what type of cutting. Peak week is like a mystery. I did go to Jessie Hilgenberg's YouTube channel, I think it was. It might have not have been her channel, I'm not sure. She's a sponsored athlete, so it could be one of her sponsors. But she described it in more detail than most, but even so, it leaves some questions. So if I can answer any questions for you guys, I would be happy to. I don't have a ton of followers at this point, but if there's just one out there that I can answer, then I'm happy to do that. But for starters, bodybuilding.com is a great website to go to. It has all sorts of things on it. I didn't go to it a ton. I just kind of go there when I have a question or two. But as far as workouts go and the different types of workouts that you can do aside from machines and cardio, getting into the dumbbells and also like cable, there's so many different things you can do with the cables. You can just go research different workouts, find what works for you, learn your body parts, your muscles, biceps, triceps, the shoulders, that they have more than just, one way to move your shoulders. There's a front, rear, and side deltoid. Learn even your neck, your back muscles, your core area, your quads, your hammies, your calves, all of that. You need to learn, basic body mechanics. If I move my arm this way or my legs this way or my back this way or my torso or whatever, what muscle am I working out? You don't want to be working out the wrong muscle. Also, if you're using more than one joint, then you're working a compound movement. So really do your research on that. And also, if you want to do a bikini competition, then you need to know what they're looking for. You can just use it as a goal like I did, just to get to where you want to be personally, and then kind of tweak it towards the end to maybe, conform to more of their ideas of what you should look like. And so basically what I've gathered from what they're looking for in the bikini division, for NPC at least, is lots of mass in the quads, hammies, and glutes, a smaller waist, smaller shoulders, defined shoulder caps, and they're not too concerned about the arms, but nice and lean, not too lean, because you don't want to see muscle striations. You just want to see a nice toned body. So I would say that the lower half is pretty important, leaning out that midsection. If you're like me and you're just straight up and down, your shoulders are just as wide as your hips, if not wider, and you just straight up and down, don't really have any curves. My waist doesn't go in. It's like just pretty straight up and down. So what I have to do is work on my posing, and I will have a posing video that I haven't posted yet and I haven't even made yet, but my plan is to have like a detailed description on everything that I'm doing, what poses I've decided on, and why I've decided on those poses. So you tweak your body to look like it has a smaller waist, to look like you have bigger shoulder caps, to look like you have bigger glutes and legs and everything. If your posing isn't on, it could definitely bring you down as far as where you rate in that competition. So posing is really important to research. And what you can do, there's no better reference than your own body. So stand in front of the mirror, do different poses that you've seen online, figure out what works best for you, from tweaking your torso, your shoulders, your arms, your legs. Just really pay attention to your body and learn what it looks like in different positions and decide which positions are best for you. So posing, workouts, cardio. I feel like a lot of bikini athletes bust their butt at the gym, like a ridiculous amount as far as cardio goes. So you do all this heavy work trying to gain this muscle, and then you do crazy amounts of cardio, which if you look into cardio, you'll see that it decreases your muscle mass. So you're burning your muscle as well as your fat. So you want to minimize your muscle burning, maximize your fat burning. So what I've decided to do personally, and there's more than one way to do this, is to cut back with food. I did that for a while, but I did see muscle decrease, but I definitely limited my cardio. I was doing cardio maybe once a week. Actually, that's all I've done it really, is once a week, and for no longer than 30 minutes, and even so I do the Stairmaster and I do interval training. And interval training is the best as far as I can see. That's just my opinion. And there's all sorts of different interval type trainings, and that will maximize your fat burning, and you can add weights to it and stuff so that you're also working on muscle building. It's overwhelming, the amount of information that you can get online, and a lot of things contradict one another, but that's where you come into play. You can decide what sounds good, try it out, see if it works, try something different next time. Just kind of play with your body and see how it responds to different things, because your body is going to respond differently than mine or somebody else's. We all have different metabolisms and things like that, so and respond differently to different foods. I would also recommend using MyFitnessPal. I started out with MyPlate. It's a Livestrong app, but I've noticed a lot of people using MyFitnessPal, and I think it is a little bit better. It tracks things differently. Actually, it counts more calories and macros than MyPlate did. But so MyFitnessPal, you log your food. You can see how many fats, carbs, and proteins that you're eating. And when people talk about macronutrients, that's what they're referring to: fats, carbs, and proteins, usable energy sources. And then they play with different ratios. Oh, I'm on a 40-40-20 diet. Well, 40 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fat. And there's all sorts of, there's a 50-30-20, so you can just experiment with your ratios, and if nothing else, you can just kind of start out, even if you're not working out, log your food, see what you are eating, and then you can use that as a base. Do I need to eat more? Do I need to eat more often? Do I need to eat less of this and more of that? Those types of things. Also, something that I haven't really seen online, maybe it's an embarrassing subject to talk about, but when we're talking about the body, I have no shame. So when you change your diet, you're going to notice that your bowels will change as well. They'll be softer or more firm or things like that. So that's why a lot of people, track their fiber intake, which helps with regular bowel movements. So depending on what types of fruit, how much vegetables you're eating, things like that. So just basically pay attention to your body, your water intake, and things like that. Another tip that I have, and I saw it once and I thought, oh my gosh, that is such a good tip for everybody, is don't drink your calories. So, and then again, you can find something that contradicts this, like the carb backloading. There's a lot of drinking going on in carb backloading, not alcohol, but like, for instance, my husband's post-workout meal is coffee with a type of, I think it's an almond milk type creamer. He uses coconut oil, and also he just bought it and hasn't used it yet, but some type of sugar. So the idea is to spike his insulin and everything and promote that muscle building and things like that, and fat burning. So he's going to be drinking, and that's fine, but he's monitoring that and he's including it. So when I say don't drink your calories, what I'm referring to is regular sodas, Gatorade, coffee from Starbucks. If you buy any type of thing, it's going to have a ton of sugar and syrup and all sorts of things in it. What else that people drink? Tea. Smoothies are loaded with calories, and that's fine if you're including that in your meal and you're counting it. But if you're not, and you're like, oh, I just had a cup of coffee, but now I'm going to go have breakfast or dinner or whatever, or lunch, well, that coffee was probably 500 plus calories. And for me right now, that's like a third, well, more like a fourth of my daily intake. So do I want to sit there and drink that coffee and have it be a fourth of my calories, or do I want to have a nice meal? 500 calories worth of a healthy meal is a lot of food. So trying to make the best choices. If you need that coffee to get going, try and make it black coffee. Try and do artificial sweetener, or, to keep track of that creamer, and just know what you're drinking and include it in your calories. Let's see. Getting a trainer is a good idea, but the information is online. I didn't get a trainer, but I did have my husband. So he started me out at the gym. We still work out together. There was a long period of time that I had to work out by myself because of our schedules, but he really was, strict on my form. So it's really important that you get the proper form so that you don't hurt yourself, especially with squats. There's so many bad ways to do squats. And I also want to point out that I've seen a lot of people helping other people out at the gym and giving the wrong advice. And so you really have to be careful. Who are you taking advice from? They might look good, but they're not going to teach you the right way necessarily just because they look good. So get online, look up proper form for squats, or somebody, go to bodybuilding.com or like a website that has good information that's more reliable than just some meathead in the gym, because form is really important. And there's so many different ways to work out, so you can keep it fun and kind of switch it up, or if you're just a creature of habit like me, you can leave it the same and you can get the same results, but increasing your weight, or increasing your reps and things like that. So constantly making progress and trying to hit new PRs. Personal advice would be, don't expect people to help you and give you a ton of information, because a lot of people get into bodybuilding and what they'll do is start charging you, they'll say that they're a trainer and they'll start charging you for information or meal plans or workout plans and things like that. But again, it goes back to who's giving you this advice. Are they, did they go and get trained? Did they do a program to where they're a certified personal trainer? Or do they just know enough about their body to look good and what they need to get? And just basic information on, okay, you want to get leaner, do more cardio, eat less. You want to get bigger, eat more, lift heavy. There's so much more to it, and it's so much more complex. So it's great if somebody has mastered their bodies, but it doesn't mean they're mastered yours. And so that's why it's important that you listen to your body. I would definitely question your trainer if you have one, and the best question to ask is why. So why am I doing this? What's the physiological effect in my body? Like where they're coming from as far as how they like to train people and how it makes them different from other trainers and things like that. Just because they have clients that have results, that's great, but what if they're working their clients too hard? Or what if their client just has good genetics, so I'm pretty skeptical, especially when it comes to my body, with trainers, doctors, anything, and we should be. And if you're paying them, then they better know more than you, and they better be able to teach you something. And so asking why, I feel, is really important. Also, a regular trainer might not know what you need to know for bikini competitions or other bodybuilding competitions. So they don't necessarily know what the NPC is looking for. They're not going to be able to teach you bikini posing. So I would recommend taking a bikini posing class, or whatever division you choose to compete in. Let's see, what else? You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on your bikini. So as far as price goes, it seems like it's a lot at first, and I have a family and stuff, and so I didn't want to do this and be really selfish and spend a lot of money competing, and it does all add up, but up front, yeah, it looks like it's a lot, but if you do it gradually, it really doesn't seem like a lot. I got my bikini for like around $100. I think it was under that. You can use the same bikini as many times as you want, although it's fun to buy new ones. As far as the shoes go, I can't remember how much they were, $30 or something, but you also can use the same shoes and nobody will notice or care if you use your shoes more than once. I think most people probably do. Your jewelry that you wear. You don't have to wear 3 bracelets, 5 rings, and, all that. So earrings, 1 ring, 1 bracelet is good. You don't even have to do that. It's not a requirement. But a little bit of stage bling is, can't hurt you, and it can only help you. So there's that. And so hair and makeup, you can do your own hair and makeup, or you can pay to have it done, and that's fine. And then so that basically just covers everything except for tan. And tan will be more expensive. It's about $120 or so, I think, $130 for your spray tan. And I think it usually includes like a gloss and a bikini bite and stuff to keep your bikini in place on stage. And that to me is worth paying for. And then you have to include, are you going to be taking supplements? So for me, I take creatine, I take a pre-workout, and I take a protein supplement. So I started out taking arginine, creatine, and glutamine and a protein supplement, but you don't have to do that. Creatine, I would definitely recommend creatine. I would definitely recommend a protein supplement if you're like me and you won't get it from actual food. I don't like eating a ton of meat. I'd rather just drink it. So those are going to cost a little bit of money. Let's see, but you're probably not going to be eating out either, so you save money there. You save money not going out with your friends and not going out drinking, because you're not going to be drinking a bunch of alcohol, if any at all. You're not going to be going out to eat at restaurants a lot, because you'll find that the things that you need to order to keep your goals are things that you can easily make at home. Grilled chicken, vegetables, fruit. So, except for the occasional, cheat meal or whatever. What else? Having a partner is nice and motivating, but I've noticed that social media kind of helps me. I started off, interested in competing with Instagram, just following other bikini competitors, and that's motivation enough for me. I enjoy working out with people, but then I got into a rhythm, and I have my routine, and I don't want to mess with it, and I don't want to sit and talk for hours. I just want to work out and get it done. Time is money, so I like to be efficient with it. And so it's not necessary, but it helps. And if you're watching if you're watching this, then I'm here to be your friend too. But that about covers it for as far as just getting into everything. But if you do have a little extra fat that you really want to get rid of, you want to get that cardio in, and you want to get your diet under control, because diet is so important. And if you're like most women, you're concerned about your abdominal area, and I want to say that's 90% diet. So just really get your diet under control. Don't go looking up, which foods are going to make me thinner, which foods are going to make my abs, come out or whatever. Just concentrate on your macros, make it healthy, whole foods. Don't eat a lot of sauces and fats and all of that, and white bread and all that just have a ton of calories in them, and pastries and sweets and stuff like that. Keep track of your macros, keep your calories in check. And then you can also, what you want to do, and I have a Tumblr account that kind of helps you do it yourself, but you can also go online and plug in your numbers as well, as far as figuring out how many carbs do I need, how much fat and protein do I need. And you start off with what you need to maintain your weight, and then it'll tell you to subtract 500 calories to lose weight, or to add 500 calories to your diet to gain muscle. So you can kind of go off that and play with your numbers. It might give you a broad number at first, but you just play with the numbers and see what you feel works best. And there's an equation for that, and you can go to carissaforhealth.tumblr.com and go to my archive, because it's one of the very first posts that I post. And things have changed, and I've learned things since then, so you might want to look at a couple of the different posts. And that I started the Tumblr account for myself and my own documentation, kind of like this YouTube channel as well, but I was trying to get out there so that beginners could find me and we can do this together. But I feel like there's some good information, and I got it from good sites and stuff. So like I said, it's best to do your own research and everything, and just really be knowledgeable about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how your body works. And it's a really fun process once you really get into it. Counting calories wasn't something that I thought I would ever do. Kind of thought it was a little ridiculous, but now I love doing it. It's not even the calories. It's like, how is my body changing to this, and how is it responding to that, and what am I eating, and it just kind of keeps things in check. So anyways, I hope this long video answered some questions and kind of helped some of you guys out. Really, you can only scratch the surface, and it's hard to just, I wish there was a site where you could just find something specifically for you and to really help you and give you all sorts of direction and guidance, but it's hard to do that and find those sites, because you need to tailor it to you and your body and your needs, and that's where all the adjustments need to come in, and your own personal awareness of what you're doing. So good luck. Get registered into a bikini competition. Look them up, even if it's a year out from now. It really helps motivate you in the gym, and that's what I love. That's probably my favorite thing about competing. I haven't even stepped on stage yet, and my favorite thing is how much it motivates me in the gym to just really get done what I want to get done. So anyways, have a good day, and good luck with your fitness goals.